But what I wanted to show you here is this beauty, the 13 HD.
That was 6 years ago. I think it's about time I take a look at another Wacom tablet. Greetings everyone, Eric here, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be taking a look at the Wacom Cintiq 16. The Wacom Cintiq 16 is a slightly more stripped down version of the Pro 16 display pen tablet that Wacom offers. For those of you unaware, a pen display tablet is effectively just a monitor that you plug in your computer that has a touchscreen system on it where you have to use a stylus pen and can draw directly on the tablet. The Wacom Cintiq 16 is a stripped down version of the Pro 16. Now this just means that it's missing some of the same features that the Pro has, and they did this so that they could cut down the costs to make it more affordable for people. I believe the Cintiq 16 is upwards of over $1,000 if I'm remembering correctly. This one, however, is around the $600 mark. About a little over 500, between 500 and 600, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers because I don't have the page up right now. The two features that I feel are worth mentioning is, firstly, this one does not have multi-touch, meaning you can't use your hand to touch the screen and do certain things like moving the page around or whatever, or scrolling, zooming, all that stuff. So this does not have that. The other feature that to me is a little bit more important to mention is that this does not have a laminated screen. Now, the process of laminating the screen allows you to reduce the distance between the top of the screen where your pen touches and the actual display underneath. This creates a bit of a gap, which what a lot of us digital artists will call parallaxing, which is the distance between when your pen touches and where the cursor shows up. Now, thankfully, out of the box, this thing comes really well calibrated, so I really don't notice it. In fact, the calibration is so good that even going from side to side to the side of this, I can't speak today. Out of the box, the calibration on this thing is really good, so I really didn't notice any of the parallaxing whatsoever. But it's something worth mentioning because it is there, and I do feel like it's something that shouldn't be a feature that they would take away. If anything, that's the main draw to all tablets right now, because even the off-brand tablets like XP Pen and Huion all are going to laminated screens, even on their budget-friendly things. So like the XP Pen or the Huion version of a 16-inch tablet, which is much cheaper than this, by like sometimes up to $200 cheaper, come with laminated screens. And another thing that this nor the Pros have anymore is they've removed the buttons off of these things, meaning you don't have shortcut keys. You still have your power button up at the top, which is way up here, which is off camera, but you don't get the shortcut keys over here on the side, which is kind of a dumb thing to me to remove. I don't know why they're removing those from all their tablets. Oh, I know why they're removing from their tablets, because they sell a remote key shortcut key pad. Like, it's a little thin little thing with like 17 buttons on it that you can program, as well as a little scroll wheel. They sell this thing, which is literally just a programmable keypad, for $100. So for $100 you can buy buttons to have for this thing. To me, that's a bit much. That's just kind of money gouging to me, but it's Wacom. They're the big name brand. They're the big, professional used brand. So they're going to get as much money out of you as they possibly can because they know that people are going to pay it. XP Pen does make their own version. It doesn't have as many keys, but they do make one for around like $30 to $40. I haven't tested that one, so I don't know how well it works. Although I have heard some stories about the one Wacom sells that people haven't liked. So I would rather have the buttons on it. But anyway, it's definitely a good tablet. I tried it out of the box and it's really good. But instead of me sitting here talking and stuff like that, how about we just go over to me doing some of the tests. So first, let's do an unboxing. The box it comes in is really nice, as I would expect from Wacom. Also really big for some reason. Right at the top is a little box that holds the cable for the power brick to connect to the wall. Right on top is the tablet itself, nicely packed in a mesh bag, but we'll get to that later. Next, we have Wacom's very popular pen, which has two buttons on the sides and the eraser bit on the back. In the middle, we have the power brick, which is also wrapped in a mesh bag for some reason. Next is the 3-in-1 cable with their proprietary end to go into the tablet itself. Then we have the quick start guide for setting it all up. A quick note on the 3-in-1 cable. I don't like the 3-in-1 cables as much. I know some other companies are starting to use them too. The reason I don't like them is because it forces you to have to buy from them if you need to replace something. So let's say the HDMI part of the cable or the USB part of the cable dies. Well, then the whole cable's useless. So you'd have to buy a new one from them, which I think is a little shady. I don't like it, but what are you going to do? Now we can take a look at the tablet itself. On the top, they have these air vents to help with cooling. I never heard any fan noise, but still a nice feature to have. On the back, we have the little legs that pop out. Great, since this thing does not come with any stand. That'll be an extra $80. Also on the back is a flap that conceals where you plug the 3-in-1 cable in. The screen itself looks great. The anti-glare is nice, especially with the weird lighting I have above my table. Oh, and on the side is a thing to put your pen in, which also holds the spare nibs. Also, a quick note on the anti-glare glass. It basically is a bit of a coating on there. It's not quite the etched glass that you get on some of the other Cintiq Pros, but it does give you a hair bit of resistance so that it's not perfectly smooth. And I know a lot of artists who want that slight paper texture would appreciate that. The unfortunate side is it dulls the colors a little bit, but out of the box, this thing is calibrated, again, with the colors pretty accurately, so if you can get around that, it's fine. I don't really rely on it for coloring. I rely on this monitor, which is a much better IPS display. But just in case you want to know, it does dull the colors slightly. Okay, so time for the obligatory tests of the pen. Obviously, it's Wacom's technology, so you expect the pen to be really good. And it is. It is very stable. As you can see here, I can draw thin to thick lines just fine. If I increase the size a little bit more, you can see I can get a nice real thin line, but I can also smoothly transition to a thicker line pretty easily. And I have stabilization on Clip Studio down to like 6, so it's really not fixing my lines very much. And as you can see here, if I try to make straight lines, let's see if I slow it down a little bit. It's about as slow as I can go. As you can see, a lot of the wobble here is just my hand. So obviously, got a ruler. And no, I'm not taking a metal ruler to this screen. The back has cork. This down gently so I don't damage the screen. And then we'll do it again. And I'll go a little bit slower, just so that way if there's any jitter. And as you can see, it is practically a perfectly straight line with the hairest, and I mean the tiniest, of any type of wobble whatsoever. So, surprise to no one, Wacom makes really good pen. This pen is really good. It feels really good in the hands. Obviously, having the eraser on the back is really nice because it allows you to just kind of work really good. So yeah, the pen feels really good on the screen. The screen itself feels really nice, as I probably mentioned. I don't know, I'm recording these in random order. But yeah, everything from what I've been able to mess with feels really good. I'd say the pen is, as per expected from Wacom, really good. So my overall thoughts of this thing are, it's a Wacom tablet. It's really good. They're going to give you really good software, which the software is actually really nice, especially because you can program it based on which software which art software you're using. Software. But you know, it's exactly what people expect from Wacom. The pen itself, really good. I keep forgetting that the eraser is on the back of the pen, I will admit, because I'm so used to not having it. So I'm just used to either having one of the buttons switch to the eraser or just hitting E. Especially in some programs like Clip Studio, if you hold a key, it'll switch to it temporarily so you can use it, and then when you let go of the key, it switches back to whatever the previous tool is. So I've just been using that. Not having the buttons, I know I'm harping on that a little bit. Not having those buttons really sucks because for me, I'm dealing with a lot of like wrist pains, which is actually why I got this tablet initially, because I wanted a bigger screen for this hand. But for my left hand, I'm having to use keyboard shortcuts over here. And it's putting my hand in what I consider the gamer setup, which is, you know, where your hands are near WASD, and it's locking in that position which is unfortunately causing a lot of wrist pains. If the buttons were on the tablet itself, I could have my hand in a more relaxed kind of position and use the buttons there. But I'm not spending $100 for a bunch of programmable keys. In fact, I do have a tablet coming on the way. Because of Amazon's stuff, shipping is a bit crazy right now. I believe you know why. But I do have the Wacom Canvas Pro 16 on its way here. That has programmable keys on the side, and it's basically a competitor to this. So I'm going to be comparing it to this in that video, so look forward to that video. As for this video, look, it's Wacom. You're getting good quality product. Unfortunately, you are paying a premium for that, even for their more budget-friendly versions. I do think that they should put the laminated screen on this. That is honestly becoming a standard nowadays, and I feel like going back on that is kind of dumb. But I will give them credit. The out-of-the-box calibration is really good and kind of makes up for it, so I will give them a light pass on that just because of how good the calibration was right out of the box. I haven't calibrated this at all in any of the scenes you were watching me draw or anything like that. So, but yeah, here comes a part where I'm just going to say goodbye, and I'm going to switch over to some content of me literally drawing on the tablet to end this video. And I actually put the camera like way up here, so it's like pointed at the screen itself, so you can kind of get a good view of that. Which unfortunately means you're going to see my dome in front of the camera a few times, so I do apologize for that. But whatever. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it the thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see any more content of mine. As I said, I have another video coming out hopefully once the other tablet gets here on the Wacom Canvas Pro 16. And if you would like to see any more of my content, or if you have any suggestions on content you would like to see, please leave a comment down below. Check the descriptions for all my links and all that stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Wash your hands, stay away from people, and above all, just please stay healthy. Like, I know a lot of people are panicking right now because of all this stuff, but please don't panic. Be smart, be safe, be healthy. The more you panic, the worse it's going to get. But thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.
you.